Welcome to the video about personal tax residency in United Arab Emirates. In this video we are going to tell you what are the rates of the income tax on the personal level, how to change the tax residency, how many days you have to spend in UAE in order to achieve your tax residency, and all the other important matters when you are relocating to Dubai or other city within UAE. Let's start with the basics. What are the rates of personal income tax in Dubai? Which activities are taxable? The answer is very simple. There is no personal income tax within UAE. So individuals pay zero tax on practically all the income. So let's give some examples. Capital gains, no tax. So you can trade stocks, sell the shares of your company and pay no tax. Rental of immovable property. If you own a property in Dubai and you rent it out as individual, zero tax. Salaries, zero tax. Dividends, zero tax. Interest, any income related to yourself as individual who reside in UAE for tax purposes is not taxable. In the other videos we are going to describe to you the corporate taxation. As you might know, UAE recently implemented corporate income tax, so some activities on the business level are taxable. However, all the activities on the individual level are tax-free. So another question that we get from our viewers is social insurance. This is something that exists in other countries. I mean, it might reach 20, 30, 40% depending on where you live in the European Union or in the other countries. However, in Dubai, in UAE, there is no social insurance contributions, which means you pay zero again. So whatever income you receive on the personal level, there is zero tax and zero social insurance contribution. Now you will ask me, if there is no social insurance, how can I be protected in terms of medical service, accidents, healthcare and stuff like that. So UAE has plenty of medical facilities, plenty of hospitals, clinics, etc. And when you live here, you should buy medical insurance and private healthcare, which is not expensive. But we'll cover that in the other video. So what an individual has to do to achieve a tax residency in UAE. First of all, you have to move to United Arab Emirates. So you need a flat or a villa. So you either need to buy a property or you need to rent it out. Second, you need to fix your immigration status. So you need to get the visa and the Emirates ID. And there are plenty of ways to achieve it. You can either register a company, you can get employed, or you can buy a property. And most importantly, you need to build a strong personal substance in UAE and spend relevant amount of days. Which document proves that you are a tax resident of United Arab Emirates? This document is called Tax Residency Certificate. And you can get the tax residency certificate only after residing at least 6 months within UAE. So after 6 months you can apply, and when you're applying you obviously have to fulfill a couple of conditions. So you need to submit your proof of income within UAE, you need to submit your rental agreement or agreement for ownership of the flat, and you need to prove relevant days spent within UAE. So I'm mentioning all the time relevant number of days. So let's answer this question finally. How many days during the year do you have to spend within UAE in order to become a tax resident? As you know, UAE follows the OECD Model Convention, so 183 days per year is implemented. This is the basic rule. So people who spend at least 183 days per year, they can get the tax residency within UAE. There are, however, other incentives that allow digital nomads, people who travel a lot, and generally people who cannot spend within UAE at least half year per year. So you can get the tax residency by spending at least 90 days per year. And in order to do that, you need to prove that you live here, you need to prove ownership of the flat, you need to provide rental agreement, you need to receive income from UAE, and obviously you need to provide your visa or Emirates ID. Now, what if somebody doesn't spend 183 days within UAE, or what if somebody even cannot meet the 90-day requirements? Well, each case is applied individually within the tax office. So it might be possible if you have a permanent home within UAE and if you have a center of vital interest within UAE, even if you spend less than 90 days, it is possible to achieve the tax residency and to get the tax residency certificate. However, this should be applied on case-by-case basis. And these rules that I just described are rules on the domestic level. When internationals are moving to UAE and when we have a potential cross-border claim, for example, when a German or Polish person is relocating to UAE, we should consider tests on the international level, which are tests mentioned in double tax treaties. What are these tests? So the first basic test is called permanent home. So for example, if you rent a flat within UAE and if you own a flat in Germany, you might still be perceived as a German tax resident according to the test. So when we have a permanent home in both countries, we should go to another test. Another test is a center of vital interest. And this is a very broad test describing personal, economic relations, social relations, and also business relations that apply to the person. So this test includes such elements as your family and location of your children, wife or husband. So where your children go to school, where is your spouse, where do you do business, in which country you have stronger personal and economic and life relations. Is it in UAE or it's in Germany in this case? And it also relates to business. So for example, if you have a company within UAE, if you're employed, if you have business affairs in this country and you have less of business affairs in the other country, then you should be treated as a tax resident of UAE in this case. But what about a situation where you have a center of vital interest in two countries? So you have relocated from Poland or from Germany, and in these countries you have businesses, you have different economic affairs, etc. Then we go to a test called Habitual Abode. Habitual Abode is a situation where a tax resident, an individual, is traveling to a specific country on the regular basis for a specific purpose that is vital for his general income, life, and all economic affairs. So in this example, even if you move to UAE and if you spend 200 days, for instance, then if you travel, let's say, every month for board meetings of your businesses, if you travel to see your family, even if it's a couple of days per month, other country might still treat you as a resident of that country because of the habitual abode. So it's very vital when you move to UAE and when you change your tax residency, even if you have a house, even if you have your family here, even if you have a business here, it's very important to see how you travel and for what purposes in order to mitigate the tax risks. And the last test in the double tax treaties is nationality. So if we cannot establish where an individual has a permanent home, center of vital interest, and habitual abode, then he should be perceived as tax resident of the country where he is a national. So if he has a German passport, then resident of Germany. And of course there is a procedure in every treaty that allows two countries to negotiate and to establish where this person is a resident for tax purposes. So as you can see from the test that I have just mentioned, it's not only enough to become a resident of the UAE for immigration purposes, have a visa and have a company. You need to actually spend here some time and you need to have some infrastructure that should be stronger than in the other country of your previous residence. And you will ask yourself a question, is it worth all this hassle? Yes, definitely, because moving here for tax purposes is amazing. There is no tax whatsoever, as we mentioned in the very beginning. So crypto guys, investors, even employees that are residing in UAE, they pay zero tax. So you can use the benefit of the great business environment and all the infrastructure that Dubai offers and pay zero tax. Last thing I want to mention is our availability to you. Whether you will need a tax advice, guidelines on how to relocate, analysis of your situation, we are here for you. We have an office in Dubai, in Business Bay, and we'll be very happy to provide you with the consultation or any services related to accounting, tax, administration, and your relocation to UAE. So feel free to contact us and of course follow our YouTube channel.